Yo, what's happening, world? What's good, boxing heads and fight fans around the world? Be March back at it. What's good? So, the Zone, just only 7 months into the business since they debuted with that Anthony Joshua versus Povetkin. Since they debuted in the United States, I believe that was 7 months ago. Well, looks like they not playing with subscribers no more. They up in the ante from $9.99 a month to $19.99. Could you believe that? A whole $20. You know what I'm saying? I had HBO back when HBO had good boxing, plus all the movies, Sopranos, The Wire, Boardwalk Empire, and that shit wasn't no $20. And not to mention, HBO would come with HBO Family, HBO Comedy, HBO Latino, at least five, six, seven, eight different versions of HBO. Look, this the zone asking for 19.99 is even more money than Netflix. You mean to tell me that the zone is more important than Netflix in the overall general perspective of people of viewership? I mean, people gonna be watching more movies and original programs on Netflix rather than watching you know what I'm saying? Watching paying 19.99 a month for the zone. I think this is shocking news. 7 months after its launch in the United States, the zone's up in the ante. Now they're giving subscribers, I guess people who still paying on a month by month basis, they're giving them an option um, to pay 99.99, basically $100 for the year, and that roughly comes up to about $8.50 per month. Okay, so you got to give them a whole $100 one time just to get that deal of not you know what I'm saying? You got to pay them a whole $100, 99.99 just to get it for 850 per month. You know what I'm saying? Look, man, even ESPN Plus is 4.99. You know what I'm saying? A total of probably about $50 per year. But ESPN did mention this past weekend that a $60 separate charge for monthly UFC pay-per-views because ESPN is now going to be handling all the UFC pay-per-views. You know what I mean? So you see these apps, man. I see these people try to pull the okey doke, man. Try to pull the wool over people's eyes and shit. You know what I'm saying? To the point where you think you're paying 9.99 a month. Oh, I even hear the British fans. I mean, the Eddie Hearn loyalists and supporters. Eddie Hearn has fans. You know what I mean? He got fanatics. They be urging us here in the United States, man, buy that DAZN, man. DAZN's a good deal. DAZN's a good deal. You would have thought they had equity or stocks or shares in DAZN. You know what I mean? All that guap is not going to you. So don't tell me what to do with my money, dogs. Mike 104 is in the chat. Was good, fam? How you feeling, man? He says the zone is for suckers. You ain't never lie. I got the zone the first month free trial, and I made sure I cut it off within before 30 days because I wasn't feeling it, man. I just really wasn't. You know what I mean? PNC King says, "Sup? What's good, PNC? How you feeling, man? Thanks for coming through in the chat. You know, now the zone does have, I guess, boxing, MMA, Major League Baseball. I really don't watch none of those other sports. I'm gonna keep it tall with y'all. You know what I mean? But it's funny how right before Canelo and what's his name, Danny Jacobs fight in May, they got Golovkin over there on the zone now. Joshua fights June 1st. It's crazy. It's funny. And to me, it's not a coincidence how they up the price up now to 19.99. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Now all current subscribers of the zone they'll be grandfathered in, and they'll be able to maintain that subscription of 9.99 per month for one more year without committing to a whole year. So if you're paying your monthly, if you're already with the zone as of right now, and you pay on a month by month basis, you're gonna continue paying 9.99 up until a year ends from the day that you did that you or the month that you did subscribe to the zone. You know what I mean? So if you subscribe to the zone 7 months ago, you got 5 months left. You know what I'm saying? After that, you're gonna have to be paying $20 on a month by month basis, or you're gonna have to give them a whole $100. You know what I'm saying? Just to watch boxing for the year. Like, I'm not feeling that. I'm sorry, man. You see, I wasn't down with the zone from day one. I didn't like the caliber of fights. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I've seen a lot of these fights before the zone was on, these matchroom boxing fights, and that ain't nothing for me to buy. Even Derek Chisora versus Dillian White, they didn't even get to put it on the zone. They pulled the okey doke on the people who did subscribe to it. PNC King says Eddie Hearn, Eddie's fans hurt. Eddie's fans, man, they be trying to tell me over here in the United States what I should do with my $9.99 a month. But these people over there in the UK, they don't even pay for these matchroom fights. They be streaming them. How you gonna tell me to pay $9.99 a month to watch the zone when you have the same options to be paying for your Sky Sports over there, but you're not. You be on that streaming shit. Well, that's the hypocrisy and the double standards, man. I'm not with it, man, and that's why I refuse to give the zone a single of my. I ain't give him no money. That's out. Set shots in the chat. How you doing, set shot? He says it's bizarre that a promoter has fans, right? It's very bizarre, man. Fucking Eddie Hearn, man. This guy is just like a rock star, dogs. You know what I mean? People be going to bat for him every day, man. I be listening to some hangouts and channels, and wow, man. It's like Eddie Hearn is gonna, like, these are adopted orphans, and Eddie Hearn is gonna give them a equity of the zone and matchroom boxing. Just urge United States fans to pay for the zone, and I got you. Yeah, okay. All Eddie Hearn about to do, and this skipper guy, they pulled the motherfucking wool over your eyes, and now you see you gonna have to pay $20 a month. I've never paid $20 a month for HBO or Showtime. Showtime and HBO, like I said, they have numerous channels that come with the package, whether it's $9.99 a month for HBO or $9.99 a month for Showtime. You know what I mean? That's ridiculous. Um, Mr. Doc, what's good, Mr. Doc? He's in the chat. He says, "What up, B Marsh? I'll just be paying the annual because it's cheaper than I pay now. But you're right. Not everyone's gonna want to fork over $100, and no way would I pay no $20. So you're gonna be pay. You're gonna give him $100 one time, Mr. Doc. But you're already with DAZN, or you already subscribed to him. So I guess for the rest of your 12-month duration, you're gonna just be paying that $9.99 till that 12-month duration's over. Then you're gonna have to pay $20 a month, or you're gonna have to give him $100 one time." Mr. Doc says, "What I'm pissed about is Golovkin's opponent selection. Yeah, none of his opponents been sounding like, they've been sounding like some mediocre opposition. I mean, Brandon Adams, and then that other guy whom I'd never heard of, who's ranked number 2 in the WBC. I talked about him in yesterday's video. That's even a more valuable fight than fighting Brandon Adams, because at least the winner of that fight gets to fight, is the mandatory for the winner of matter of fact, they still gonna be second in line because Jamal Charlo is still the mandatory of Canelo's WBC bout. Damn One's Media, what's good, son? How you feeling? He says, "Yes, Big Marsh, big up to you, big man. Thanks for coming through." Mr. Doc says, "If they want to charge more, they need to up the quality of content big time." Yeah, and don't give me um Brandon Rios versus Humberto Soto in Mexico. No, that's no. Humberto Soto's like 40. You know what I'm saying? I've been seeing him since like the early 2000s on my TV. You know what I mean? One of them ones says, "I think it's still good. It's only 120 per year. Look at how many fighters they're trying to acquire." Yeah, but at the end of the day, man, PBC and Fox is better. It's by far. All you got to do is, you don't got to take my word. Just go look at the schedule from 2019, from January till today, March 21st. Tell me who's had the better cards. And you know what? Fox is free. It's actually free terrestrial TV. Y'all fellas is even getting pay-per-views. Mikey Garcia, Errol Spence, Adrian Broner, Pacquiao. Y'all got them over there for free. ITV. Matter of fact, if you had to ask me who's the best promoter in the UK, I'd tell you it's Pox and Boxing. You know what I'm saying? Pox and Boxing. They're giving y'all all them good fights for free on ITV4. And really and truly, Fox, PBC on Fox, FS1, all these channels. Well, FS1 comes with a sports package, you know what I mean? On your cable service, you check it. But all the fights that we've been getting on Fox are much better than them fights that are on the zone, and that's just the truth, you know what I mean? I mean, besides Canelo and Jacobs, and that's a very good fight. I like that fight, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna pay for the zone. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna ask a buddy of mine who does have the zone. Yo, hit me with your password. Same way I might throw my homegirl a password for Netflix. You know what I mean? Go ahead. Don't give it out to nobody. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. They're not getting my guap. That's out. Um, where we at? Mr. Doc says nobody should be trying to tell you how to spend your money. Yeah, yeah. It's these people, man. These UK fans, these Eddie Hearn loyalists, man. They've been telling man from day one, man, get the zone. The zone is a good. Oh, it's 9.99. Oh, you get to get this fight. Or we get cannoli twice a year. Okay, Anthony Joshua's gonna be making his debut versus Gerald Miller. It's not a great fight, not a bad fight, not nothing I'd pay for. Besides that, what else are we getting? You know what I mean? All I'm looking forward to maybe seeing Estrada and Rungvisai. You know what I'm saying? I'm really interested in that fight. But there's few and far fights in between that I'm really interested in on that DAZN Matchroom Golden Boy shit. Look at the guy Jaime Munguia fights. Come on, man. PBC, man. Shit. They about to have Jared Hurd fighting on PBC Terrestrial Fox in May in DC or Maryland somewhere. And I'm going to be in there live fighting against Julian Williams, putting J Rock Williams, putting his two straps on the line. That's a very good fight. You know what I'm saying? Gus versus Porter. Very good fight. It even surpassed my expectations. Um, what else we got? Who else we got, man? I can't even think of all the fights I've seen on PBC this year. Man, Durrell and Yildirim, that was a very good fight. Ended controversially. We need to see a rematch. But these fights, I'm trying to tell you, man, you can't tell me that matchroom boxing. You can't tell me no UK boxing is better than American boxing. It never has been, never will be, and it ain't about to start today. I'm not buying that shit, dogs. No. No. All the UK fighters coming to USA now. Dillian White, Gerald Miller, Carl Frampton. Everybody want to come to USA, man, because this where it's at, Jack. This USA, Jack. We got the best boxing from day one. And PBC got a better schedule. It's just the truth of the matter, man. Your Matchroom Boxing, the zone cannot give you no Manny Pacquiao fight. They can't give you Manny Pacquiao versus. They just can't give you Manny Pacquiao. Period. You know what I'm saying? They can't give you Errol Spence. All these great fighters we got in the United States, the zone can't do that, man. They got Danny Jacobs. Good for Danny Jacobs. I like Danny Jacobs. I'm not mad at him for going to the zone. But he's just one of very few. Who they got? Jesse Vargas? You could have Jesse Vargas and Brandon Rios. Ain't nobody clamoring to see them fight. You know what I mean? Alrighty, where we at? One of them one says, I agree, Mr. Doc, but they already had the middleweight division and they're still acquiring new fighters, so should be better in the future. Now, the middleweight division, if I'm a middleweight fighter, it makes sense to go over there to challenge for a belt. If Jamal Charlo wants to get his hands at a world title opportunity, he's going to have to ask Heyman and them, let me go over there for a short stint, try handle business. Try to get that. And the WBC should actually order that fight. They should order that fight to be made immediately. Otherwise, Cannoli should get stripped. The winner of Danny Jacobs and Cannoli needs to fight Jamal Charlo. I'd love to see Jamal Charlo fight either of those guys. Not now. For years, I've been wanting to see him fight Jacobs. At least since last year, since he moved up to 160, and they had that little altercation in the little tunnel back in the backstage at the Barclays Center. And I'd love to see Jamal Charlo versus Canoli. Been wanting to see that shit since it was both at 154. But actually, I lied. Canoli was at 155. Alrighty, where we at? But one of them ones I agree when it comes to the middleweight division. Or look, in general, wherever all the belts are at, you know what I mean? Now some may say, well, Wilder didn't go over there and all the belts. He has one and Joshua has three. Well, the man Deontay Wilder doesn't want to get dictated as far as how many fights he got to fight over there. If he's supposed to fight Joshua, what about the rematch clause? Why should he accept the same amount of money and Joshua get more money in a rematch? That it doesn't work like that, and I could see why the man Deontay Wilder didn't take that deal. And I'm not mad at him. Look, man, just last year, less than a year ago, they offered him 12.5, then 15 million. Now they throwing 40 million at him. Look, man, Deontay Wilder is very popular, man. Don't let nobody lie to you. He's popular. He's getting known. After that Tyson Fury fight, Deontay Wilder is up in his stock. You know what I mean? So if he plays hardball, look, these people are gonna have to give him that money they need. You know what I mean? Because sooner than later, all these heavyweights gonna run out of opponents, and we're gonna have to see the best fight the best. Okay. One of them ones says, plus Dazn is not a boxing app, it's a sports app. Yeah, all them other sports, I don't watch none of that shit. I don't watch no Bellator. I guess they got Major League Baseball. I guess they got some kind of soccer. It's not the EPL. It ain't the English joint. It's not worth no $20. I don't give a fuck if it was strictly all boxing. No. They fucking lying to us, man. Sooner than later, this DAZN gonna have pay-per-views. ESPN, the app does. Khan and Crawford. Just wait. You just wait. They're gonna hit us with some pay-per-views. Hit that thumbs up, people, please. If you're in the chat, if you're listening live, hit that thumbs up one time. Or if you disagree with what I say, just hit the thumbs down. Just be proactive. All right. One of them one says, plus I hear you have access to all fights too, right? Yeah, man, all fights that I've been seeing. Who ain't never seen Shane Mosley versus Oscar De La Hoya? You can see all them fights, Pernell Whitaker versus De La Hoya. You can see them fights on YouTube. The old access is not what would make me want to pay 19.99 a month. I could see these fights. I got photographic memories. I saw these fights live. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen them millions of times. Like, that won't make me want to have to pay $20 a month. Nope. All right. Mr. Doc says, yeah, but Abel on some massive BS saying that he won't fight Jacobs if he beats Canoli. Yeah, you see, Abel Sanchez, man, he's just terrible. He's terrible. That's why he has a losing streak. All his fighters getting that ass beat. You know what I mean? Mr. Doc says Golovkin got no time for soft touches. He should be fighting Andrade or at least Jaime. Yeah, he should fight Andrade. Get yourself a WBO belt. Unless he's doesn't care too much about the belts. He just wants that money fight with Canoli. And if even if Jacobs wins, he's still gonna want to chase Canoli. All right. One of them one says, who's to say PBC fighters won't fight on the zone in the future? And who's to say the zone won't acquire more promoters like Lou DiBella, etc.? Well, until they do, I'm not a prophet or a fortune teller. Until they do, we shall see. You know what I mean? Personally, I don't see a lot of the zone fighters who get, excuse me, PBC fighters. I mean, damn, the man Wilder turned down 120 million. You would have thought that'd be enough incentive for him to go over there to the zone quick, fast, and in a hurry. But for him, the business model, I guess, didn't work in his favor. Look, man, fellas gave Anthony Joshua a pass for turning down 50 million because the business wasn't right. Okay, the man Deontay Wilder, he can't turn down 120 million because the business ain't right as far as what he feels he's really worth. Man, these guys control their own destiny, you know what I mean? Not me. It's not up to me to tell fellas what to do. Am I mad we're not going to see Anthony Joshua and Wilder fight? Come on, man. I'm not mad. Fuck, man, these fellas ain't giving us the fight for how long? I'm not them type of fellas who lose sleep because Wilder and AJ not fighting. When Pacquiao and Floyd, I gave up on that shit. I swear to God, I thought them fellas ain't never gonna fight, especially after Pacquiao got back-to-back losses to Bradley and Marquez put him to sleep. I gave up on that shit. The fight eventually got made. We got it. Nothing to write home about. I like the fight. It wasn't as boring as people claim to say it is. It wouldn't. I bet you if Pacquiao won that fight, nobody would say that shit was boring. At the end of the day, the fights get made, life moves on, man. I got bigger and better things to do than to be bickering, worrying about Wilder not taking 120 million. God damn, these fellas millionaires. I'm trying to be a millionaire my damn self. All right, where we at? For sure, Mr. Doc says for sure. Jamal versus Andrade, Golovkin, Canoli, Jacobs, even Jaime are all fights I want to see. And they got all the talent pool at 160 on the zone. These fights should get made. You know what I mean? Before this year ends, Golovkin got to fight somebody with a pulse. You know what I'm saying? Somebody besides Canoli. He does. Mr. Doc says, my take on Wilder thing is simple. If he fights AJ after this Brazil thing, then I'm good. I don't care if it's on DAZN, Showtime, or Nickelodeon. If we don't get the fight, it's a disappointment. Man, I've been disappointed, and it's not good for your health, man. I've been disappointed. I thought the fight for sure was going to happen last September till Eddie Hearn and them pulled that 24-hour. Got to make a deal with Povetkin within 24 hours. You know what I mean? I guess the mandatory trumped unifications. First time I seen that shit. But I can't be disappointed no more, man. So I don't make videos about that shit like that. For what? Keep talking about a fight that ain't gonna be made. Mr. Doc, we talked about this. We don't want to talk about fights that are not being made. We want to talk about fights that are being made. Breakdowns and predictions and fellas thoughts and about the fight that's gonna happen, like a Canoli and Jacobs. I'm not gonna be here talking about fights that ain't never been my style. You know what I mean? Nah. PNC King says, "Yep, PBC went pay per view. Yeah, they did with They've done it twice this year, and both of them were successful. Broner and Pacquiao, and Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia this last weekend. It actually surpassed my expectations. You know what I mean? I didn't think it'd be over 400. That's good for them. You know what I mean? It's good for them. New pay per view stars, new stars in boxing, the boxing world. It's always a good look. One of them says thumbs up. Good looks. One of them appreciate that. Set shot with the Tony Harrison. Hey, set shot. We were talking about that Tony Harrison and Jamal Charlo before it happened, and I guess we got what we really wanted. But I ain't gonna lie to you. I really thought that that Charlo won that fight 7 rounds to 5. But hey, man, Tony Harrison achieved a childhood dream of being a world champion. Can't wait to see the rematch. Setshot said it's hard to believe the zone can pay out all these huge contracts by subscription only. I guess that's why they need people to be paying $100 one time or pay $20 per month on a month-to-month basis. You know what I mean? I don't know what kind of money they have in their war chest. I really don't. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a treasurer. I'm just a boxing fan. You know what I mean? Um, but it's obvious. Maybe they need to get more subscribers. And to me, it's not a coincidence they doing this um, surcharge up in the price for the zone right before Canoli and Jacobs fight, and right before Anthony Joshua and Miller fight, and just as soon as Golovkin, who's supposedly supposed to be fighting in June. You know what I mean? It's not a coincidence, man. They need people to jump on board. You know what I'm saying? If you go to the Play Store on the Zone on your Google Play Store or your iTunes store, your Apple store, it says the Zone has over 5 million downloads. But that's a gray area. Is that 5 million downloads for people who still have the Zone, or Were they people like me who got it for the first month? I can't even remember what fight I seen that first month I had it. I believe I seen Canoli and Bill Wennington. What's that guy's name? Bill Wennington. What's that guy's name? What's the guy? Rocky Fielding. I think that's the only fight that I probably got to see that month that I did have it for the free 30-day trial. I made sure I cut it off after before 30 days. Believe you me. Um, where we at? Boxing Killers TV says, "What up, man? You looking forward to Rung Vasai versus Strada? Should be fight of the year." Fucking right, man. I love Rung Vasai, and I fucks with Estrada too. You know, for the longest I used to talk about Estrada on my channel, saying, he's probably the best skilled fighter, more than Canoli. Best skilled pound for pound fighter out of Mexico. But people don't really talk about the guy. Maybe because he's in a smaller weight. People, I guess, they ain't really know about him. Even guys like Juan Manuel Marquez, he even agreed and said, that Estrada is the best fighter out of Mexico, not Canoli. You know what I mean? But no question, I'm looking forward to that fight, man. I thought the first fight was very close, and I slightly edged it to Rungvisai, you know what I mean? Rungvisai's been having a lot of easy touch-ups ever since that HBO fight last year, 2018 in January. So I'm sure he's ready, man. He's ready to rock and roll, you know what I mean? Um, who would I favor? I probably would still favor Rungvisai, but we shall see. The first fight was close, could have gone either way, but I slightly edged it to Rungvisai. So I can't wait for that fight, no question about it. Set Shot says, yes, we were, and as did I. Was happy as hell for Superbad. I was too, you know. I was happy for him that, the man achieved his childhood dream, you know what I mean? Mr. Doc says, for sure fights that are actually happening should get more attention than these heavyweight and welterweight soap operas. Yeah. And some people, that's all they talk about, some channels, you know what I mean? Do what you gotta do, man, but I just can't do it, man. Look, man, a lot of the haters and detractors, man, they made that motherfucker Wilder popular as fuck. Real talk, man. I'm trying to tell you, man. There's no way you can keep making videos about Wilder every day, whether you're disparaging him or praising him. The man popularity's gonna rise. And the haters, hey, Wilder can thank the haters too for helping the man popularity rise. You know what I mean? Really and truly. Same way for Anthony Joshua. The people who hated Anthony Joshua, or still do, they make videos about him every day. What's that gonna do? You have an American audience. That's only gonna put your American audience to get to know who Anthony Joshua is if they haven't seen him fight. You know what I'm saying? So, fellas, keep doing your self promoting. Promote these boxers, whether you love them or hate them. Just make sure you're getting some coin out of it. You know what I mean? Setshot says ad revenue is a factor as well. And I heard that Dazn is gonna be starting to have commercials in they as far as they coverage of fights. You know what I mean? Like how Matchroom Boxing they have commercials. Mr. Doc said, man looked exactly like Bill Weddington. Yeah. Rocky Feldon looked just like Bill Weddington. Dan the Man Boxer was good. Dan the Man, how you feeling? He says, what up, B Marsh? The Zone will offer pay-per-view. Watch and see. I wouldn't doubt it one bit, man. I would not doubt it one bit. Because, look, man, ESPN pissed me off when I heard Crawford and Khan was pay-per-view. I was like, how? Khan? Who? Why? This guy ain't been a champion since 2011. Or was it 2012? January 2012, since he got beat up here in D.C. by the man Lamont Peterson. That's a long time ago, man. Even going into that Danny Garcia fight, he ain't have no belt. You know what I mean? So look, man, Bob Arum is dead wrong for that, man. Put the man Bud Crawford, who's doing great numbers on ESPN. The David Benavidez fight did great numbers. You can't be putting Amir Khan. No, no, no. Nah, man. And like Dan the Man said, man, the Zone will start offering pay-per-views. I won't doubt it one bit. You know what I mean? Look, ESPN already has a separate pay-per-view package for the UFC stuff. Okay? They're doing pay-per-view specifically for Bud Crawford. Even Lomachenko ain't on pay-per-view. They setting Bud up for failure like they did versus Post-Star. The man Lomachenko ain't never fought on pay-per-view. He's popular as ever. You know what I'm saying? He is. Why shouldn't he why should Bud Crawford get that be on a pay-per-view that ultimately probably a lot of the people in the know won't support? Not because they don't like Bud Crawford, because they know this man Amir Khan is not no pay-per-view guy, man. It is what it is, man. Dan the Man says exactly, B. Marsh. That's exactly what I said. The more they criticize Wilder, the far more they've increased his profile. Facts. I mean, it's impossible to make videos about a guy every day, whether you love him or hate him. His profile's gonna rise, man. And especially the people who be making crazy videos about him, man. Like why the fuck they bitch or they wife or something. These fellas, like, that shit puzzles me, man. Get that hate out your heart, man. What this man do to you? It's boxing at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's bigger things in life than to be worrying about whether a man took $120 million. If that man, look, Wilder ain't never seen no $120 million from boxing. If the man thought that was some good money, a great deal, don't you think he would have jumped on it? Come on, man. So you trying to tell me um, he's trying to milk that WBC and keep that belt hostage to make paydays of less than $5 million? For what? If he's trying to cash out, he'd take that $120 million and lose to AJ if that's the case. But the man's confident in himself that he thinks he'll probably beat him the first fight, and so probably does AJ think, as they should. Whoever wins the rematch should get the lion's share of the purse, man. Straight up, you know what I mean? That's exactly what should happen. Boxing Killers TV says Thurman gonna get an injury soon. Can see it in my crystal ball. You see, Thurman, man. A lot of people let him off the hook. Even Errol Spence, he's not on his neck no more. Errol Spence don't talk about fighting the guy. Errol Spence is chasing Manny Pacquiao, and if Manny Pacquiao doesn't work, he wants Sean Porter. Why Keith Thurman gotta lay low and get his ass punished by the man Josecito Lopez, a career lightweight 140 guy? Thurman's getting a pass right now, man, and I won't doubt it if he pulls out with the injury sooner than later. You know what I mean? He's halfway out the game, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? He's a guy who's content with life, makes a million plus every fight, doesn't even fights once. He's probably a guy who lives down south. He lives in Florida. Cost of living's not that expensive down there. You know what I mean? The man got himself a nice, beautiful Indian chick, probably be eating a lot of fixing him some nice curry dishes. You know what I mean? That's why the man does get fat in the offs when he's not fighting. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't doubt it one bit, Boxing Killers. He's been getting a pass right now. And really and truly, I think the best fight for him right now, if it's not Errol Spence or Sean Porter, I'd like to see him fight Pacquiao. Consolidate them WBA titles. Winner becomes a super champion at 147 with the WBA belt. Two guys who was almost halfway out the game too. Manny Pacquiao don't got much time left neither. You know what I mean? Boxing Killers TV says while the fans ain't boxing fans, they are groupies. What about Anthony Joshua fans? Aren't they groupies too of Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn? Don't they love to talk about how he fills out 90,000 seats? And what's the difference? You know what I mean? What's the difference between both fan bases? You know what I'm saying? I never thought to call the Anthony Joshua and Matchroom fan bases groupies. But if Wilder fans are groupies, so are the other fan base. It goes two ways, you know what I mean? Nobody's exempt from getting that work. You check it. So B Marsh Boxing about to seal the deal on this, man. If you're ready to pay $20 for month by month basis, then be my guest. You know what I mean? It's you could do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? Or if you're ready to pay him $100 for the whole year, go ahead and do that. That comes up to $8.50 per month. You know what I mean? But I personally Nah, I can't do it, fam. I'm not. I can't do it. I don't like the fights they be putting on that Dazn. I watched I watched Tevin Farmer versus John O'Carroll. I mean that I can't even remember who else was on that undercard. I think um, Katie Taylor. What's that guy? That British gold medalist. What's that guy's name? Luke Campbell. Those fights are cool for the British fans, for the UK fans, but this USA Jack, I'm not paying to watch no Katie Taylor or Luke Campbell, and I got no problem with Luke Campbell, man. He really impressed me in that fight he had versus Linares, coming off the canvas with that swollen eye to make it a very close competitive fight. You know what I mean? He deserves his title shot, WBC mandatory. Look, he might if Mikey Garcia vacates his WBC lightweight title, you will be seeing Luke Campbell fighting for a vacant WBC title. Of whom against, I don't know, but I bet you it'll be somebody very worthwhile watching. You know what I mean? Boxing Killer TV says, I mean the internet fans, not the real. Yeah, the internet is a place for a lot of people to remain anonymous and say a lot of atrocious stuff that they would never, and I repeat, would never say to these boxers' faces. You know what I'm saying? So I don't take the internet shit seriously, you know what I mean? Really and truly. I've met people in real life who know boxing. Trust me, man. Nobody has that type of animosity and hatred towards these boxers like these internet people. But then again, like I said, they remain anonymous, fake names, fake screen names, fake avatar profiles, so they can do that. This is like a racist playground where they can get away with mad shit. Is the internet? All right, Mr. Doc says, yeah, Thurman is on the downside of his career. I don't think he can beat the elites. And if that had been Pacquiao instead of Lopez, I'm not sure Thurman would have escaped with the win. He would have been on his ass. He would have got stopped. You see how Adrian Broner fought the man Manny Pacquiao? At a point in time, he got clipped on the chin. This guy started running, looking up at the clock like, God damn, I need to get up out of here. This little Filipino's on my ass. Pacquiao's not even a body puncher like that, but he folded AB up with a body shot. The man Keith Thurman, man, them fellas is fragile to the midsection. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention the headshots. If that was Pacquiao rather than Lopez, it would have been a KO. One of them ones says, B Marsh, what you think of Nicola Adams? Well, I seen her in the Olympics. I've seen her fights on TV. She's with ain't she with Frank Warren and them? Um, really and truly, she looks good. She's a good fighter, but I really don't know who her opponents are. You know what I'm saying? Now look, when we talking about women's boxing, I'm really looking forward to that Hammer lady versus Clarissa Shields. I've seen both of them fight. You know what I'm saying? In high caliber fights, you know what I mean? You see, that's the thing with women boxing. A lot of the opponents, Katie Taylor's opponents, I don't know none of them. Nikolai Adams, I don't know her opponents. So I watch the fights and they do what they're supposed to do, you know what I mean? But it's really going to mean something when they have an opponent that people are more familiar with, you know what I'm saying? But she's a good fighter, man, smaller weights. And I think she's going to do big things in boxing, really and truly. I don't think she got much competition. But B Marsh, man, I'm about to seal the deal on this. Big ups to one of them ones, Mr. Doc, Boxing Killers TV, Dan the Man, Set Shot, PNC King. Big ups to everybody who came through. I hope I ain't leave nobody out. Set Shot, Mike 104. Thanks a lot, everybody, for coming through. Let me know if you guys in the comment section, if you're going to be listening on the archives, if you like the zone price increase, just only 7 months into the game. 7 months into the game, and they pulling the okey doke. Let me know if you guys like that, or if you're ready to pay $100 for the whole month, for the whole year, one time, or are you gonna pay your $20 on a month by month basis? Be Marsh Boxing. Thanks for everybody.